We're going to make some Chasseur sauce now. There are all the ingredients you need except for the Espanol sauce or plain brown sauce. And if you follow my recipe for Espanol sauce and you don't have the bones, you can always buy a can of beef consomme or beef stock, liquid. Don't use any powdered stuff, please. It's just not there. Or chicken, or a combination of both. But the ingredients that you must have are shallots, mushroom, tomato, and I'm not using canned tomatoes. I'm using fresh tomato and white wine. That's the Chasseur sauce, along with the finished Espanol sauce, or already thickened brown sauce. I'm going to make this even easier. I'm not going to deal with a roux. Just follow along. This way, take the stem out of the mushroom, slice up the mushrooms, mince up the shallots. Just look at the amount that I have here. It's a lot, but you know what? Shallots give a nice flavor. So finely mince that up. What you're looking at right there is the amount we're going to use. That could be about maybe a quarter of a cup, maybe more. Okay, now that that's minced up fine, we're going to take the tomato, cut it in half. I'm going to squeeze out the seeds, and then I'm going to dice it up. There are those that would say, aren't you going to peel the tomato? Like I said, this is going to be very quick and fast. If you want to peel the tomato, it's up to you. If you don't know how to peel it, follow my recipe for how to peel a tomato, not a potato. Anyway, so that was one vine-ripened tomato. Nice, good amount. Just cut it up a little bit because we want to see pieces of the tomato in the sauce. That's good enough. Now we're going to saute all the vegetables together in butter. And if you don't like butter, don't ever use margarine. Just put olive oil, or whatever oil is your favorite. Margarine is seriously unhealthy. So, we're going to saute this. We're not looking for any color. We're just going to sweat it up so it cooks. This is very simple, this sauce, and it's very tasty when it's done. As long as you have a halfway decent stock. We'll hold up on the tomatoes. And behind that sauteing is the stock, not thickened, hot and ready to go into here. So we'll raise the flame on this. Now, what tastes better than shallots, mushroom, and tomato anyway? You want to put a piece of thyme in there for flavor. A little dry thyme, which is good. You can throw a bay leaf in there, but the bay leaves are already in my stock, my finished stock. So if you don't want to go and make the bones and cook the bones overnight, like I said, just buy a can of beef consomme or beef broth, whatever they sell. And we're going to thicken this up with Wondra. Not that it is the correct way to do it. This is very quick, fast for the homeowner. If you want to go the roux route, go right ahead. And before we put the stock in there, we have to reduce the white wine. which is going to go in right now. A nice dry white wine. Don't buy any cooking wines. If you want the sauce to taste good, the better the wine, the better the sauce. So we have this going. We'll throw the tomatoes in there. All this has to do is reduce. Everything in there is just about cooked. The tomatoes are going to take no time. The shallots and mushroom take no time. It's just reducing the white wine. And now, what do you put this over? Well, they usually don't put it over beef because they say red wine goes with beef. But guess what? If you like white wine and you don't like red wine, you do whatever you want. This will go nicely over a piece of sauteed breast of chicken, over a veal chop, even though you don't have a veal stock. But don't worry about it, it'll still be good. So we're going to put in there a little pinch of some very good dried thyme. Smell it? This is very strong stuff. It's not that it's the brand that's great, or maybe it is. The fact that these are very fresh. I buy it from a place that only sells dry herbs. So you can imagine the turnover. And they have a website. And they ship. Not like in a supermarket. You don't know how long this stuff's been in a warehouse or sitting on a shelf before it's bought. Another couple of seconds and we're going to add the stock, put the wonder, and we're done. Now how fast is that to have a sauce that's pretty decent and guaranteed better than a lot of the sauces that you eat in those so-called nice restaurants or even a diner. You can't compare like this to something that a diner will serve you. So we'll let this reduce a little bit more. Okay, a few minutes have passed and that's reduced enough. So now we're going to add the stock to that. And this is like a pint, what it was when I started. Maybe it's a drop less, it really doesn't matter. And as far as the salt, see, I don't know what you're using, the stock you're going to use. All those things come with salt, so you're going to have to do it by taste. And then to thicken with the wonder, just shake a little like that. Mix it. Just keep on doing that. And this doesn't take long to thicken, and you don't want it too thick anyway. Just shake it in there. I'm not using a whip this time, only because the mushrooms and the tomatoes get stuck in the whip. So this is fine. I'm using a wooden spoon. Slowly. Nice aroma. The thickness will be there before you know it. And just as long as the sauce coats the back of a spoon, it's thick enough. Don't forget, it'll sit in the plate for a couple of minutes. You don't want it to look like wallpaper paste at that point, right? Now we're going to wait. because I feel it thickening. Now we'll look at it with a ladle. So for me, this is just about thick enough. All depends on what else is going on your plate. This thickness is fine. If there's rice on the plate, this will flow into the rice also. And that was this enough here for four portions of anything that you're making easily. Now let's taste this. Excellent. For what it is, a very pleasant sauce to go over chicken, veal, a piece of turkey, piece of pork, and if you really like it, a piece of beef. Enjoy. Sauce Chasseur.